Can't believe it's already been a year since I've been back here. Feels like it was just a couple months ago when I was packed in here hunting, but time flies. So I'm gonna try to get into camp here quick. Looks like we got some weather coming in today. The rest of the trip doesn't look too bad. Might get something here and there, but today's the best chance of moisture. I've got a gap though in the rain clouds, so just trying to beat feet here and get into camp, get all set up, and get ready to do some mule deer hunting. Didn't wear gaiters like a dummy, so my left sock is wet from the water going through the pants, through the top of the pants there. Just grabbing some shelter here while this rain passes. Raining pretty good. I don't think it's gonna last too long though. There's been these like small little bands of rain coming through past couple days. Nothing super big though. At least I hope it doesn't turn super big. Fingers crossed there, but I've only got about another mile and a half to get to camp, so just trying to stay dry, keep the camera gear dry, because that definitely invites a whole nother element to things. And yeah, get into camp, get set up. Hopefully this passes soon. Camp all set up finally. Went and filtered my water. Cooking a meal right now. I haven't really eaten all day. Not good. But yeah, got everything. Tent set. Tent all set up. Cooking a little Editor's Choice spinach curry with chicken and rice. Classic. Trying to let the boots dry out. Got the bow. Inserts. About to crush this thing right here. So, in deer camp, another system might be blowing in right now, but hopefully I get a chance to eat. After that, it's fine. Looks like I'll just stay in the tent and hang out, but it'd be nice to eat. Current status: hanging out in the tent, riding out this storm, eating food, gummy bears, had some dinner, just kind of relaxing. So if the weather lets up, maybe I'll be able to get out and do some glassing tonight, but nonetheless, tomorrow sounds good for weather. Socks, boots, insoles. Insoles are still just a little bit damp. That'll be fun in the morning. But hopefully everything will dry out a little more throughout the night. Oh, I'm looking forward to putting on some nice warm dry socks tonight.
hang these guys up in the tent and get to sleep. And go find a buck tomorrow.
Almost to the top of the ridge. Just gonna get up into this, the top here, look off the backside. There's a big basin on the other side of this. I normally see some deer in. So far it's a couple small bucks, like small little 3 points. I see another one though that's starting to come out. Might be a little bit bigger. That's a good start to the day. Those bucks, they fed kind of like down this draw out of sight. So, which is generally what they do when I see them down lower in this basin. I just had my fingers crossed that they would go up instead and bed up in the rocks, but they were down low and they took this draw down, and where they end up going is they top over this backside, and there's like just no way to see them. I could go over there, but it's just a not what I would call a high percentage play. The juice isn't worth the squeeze on that one. Seen everything that I'm gonna see in this basin this morning, so I am gonna hop back on the trail here and pop on over to the next basin. Feels almost exactly like what happened last year. Last this basin in the morning, saw some bucks, didn't have any plays. Went over to the next basin, and last year I found a buck bedded and got in there and put an arrow in him. So fingers crossed that happens again. Just found a solid buck, solid 4 point. It looks like he's all by himself. He just bed down in what I'm guessing is his second bed. So I'm gonna wait a little bit, kind of let the winds stabilize here, and make a big loop around and try to get in on top of him. He's in a good spot. If I can get to where I need to be, I will be within bow range of him. About halfway there. Okay, starting to get close now. I'm gonna put the big camera away now and put the GoPro on. Start slipping down this hill. Oh, hopefully not slipping. Start easing my way down the hill and see if we can get a shot. Man, that happened quick. I kind of got pinned down. Deer stood up and was looking at me. And finally walked out 60 yards. I got to drop back and God, it just went right over him. Just missed that buck. Clean as can be. Swing and a miss. That sucks. Back to the glassing spot. Took me about 2 hours to get back over here. God. Big goes after these mule deer. That one stung. But hey, it's the first day. First full day here. Already loosed an arrow at a great buck. Unfortunately, I just missed. Sometimes that happens. I just I didn't feel good when I was at full draw. I should have adjusted, and I didn't, and paid the price. But live and learn, right? That's what this is all about. Never gonna have it all sewn up.
Utah was a different beast this year. Instead of being welcomed with open arms like the previous year, I felt like I kept hitting roadblock after roadblock over the next 4 days. From the miss to a lack of bucks, and then I even had a group of folks walk right up on me as I was perched above a buck waiting for a shot. All I could do was laugh at that one. I'll be honest, this all got me down a bit. Sitting back at camp though, I looked down and was reminded of something.
Sometimes I get really down on myself for stupid things like missing bucks. It's like I practice so much and I come into the field really confident, and you just never know what hand you're going to be dealt in the field. I was in a weird position, all contorted weird, wind's blowing 20 miles an hour, it's a giant buck. And I made a bad shot. That's it. These things happen. But after I did that, I looked down, and my daughter made this for me before I left on this trip. And it was just a really good reminder of what's important in life. More important than any buck out there. Those dang kids got a way of serving up perspective to you.
My time in Utah had come to a close. It was bittersweet walking out of those mountains. Opportunities with a bow aren't sitting around every corner, so when things don't work out quite right, it stings just a little bit more. Thoughts of seeing my wife and daughter fueled each step I took closer to the truck. I couldn't wait to spend some quality time with them before the next leg of my mule deer season, a few short weeks away. This time, into the backcountry of Colorado.
We are at 10,300 feet right now. I came from 1,600 feet this morning, so quite a bit of a leap. Definitely feeling the thinner air up here, but get a couple days to acclimate. Backpack hunting to me, there's like where you're gonna backpack hunt and like I'm gonna go in deep, right? And I like doing that stuff, but sometimes I backpack hunt purely for strategy. Like I'm like, screw that, like this, it's not far in, but you know what? I'm gonna wake up and the deer are gonna be right near us. And I'm not gonna have to make some big hike, I'm gonna get more sleep. That's I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm getting older, you try to hunt smarter, right? I don't know.
home for a week. Just got into our deer camp in Colorado. It's been about a week since my Utah hunt. Feeling way better for this hunt than I did in Utah. Shot the bow a lot when I got home, built some more confidence, confidence in myself after that frickin' miss on that deer. Yeah, these things happen, but it gets to you, you know, so gotta try to put in the work to beat the mental demons, and I feel like I did that. So very psyched to get out there tomorrow, just having some dinner, gonna get a good night's sleep. And I've hunted here before. It's probably been like 6 years since I've been here, but had a good hunt back then, and I think we're gonna have a good hunt now. So just gotta keep our fingers crossed that no one else comes in here. No one's in here right now, so hopefully it stays like that.
Keeping it real. Christmas cup. I'm pretty adamant about leaving camp in the dark to get to my glassing spot, but how these deer work throughout this basin, I always end up bumping them when I leave too early. So that's why we're easing up through here while we can see, because we just never know what buck or what bucks are going to be right in front of us. They tend to feed more on the side of the trail, and we usually always end up seeing them in the past as we're hiking up this trail. So that's the only reason we're not leaving in the dark. Just gotta adapt to the different areas, you know. And we found that's what works the best here. So I'm gonna ease up this way. All small bucks. Just like I thought, there was deer up here feeding in the morning. We were trying to ease our way up, and then these folks hiking, they just came up the way with their dogs. We let them go ahead of us, and in less than 5 minutes we saw a group of 5 bucks bust out. It looks like they're going into the basin that we're hunting, though. That's usually where they go to retreat, so none of them look terribly large, like large deer, but that was good to see. We've seen 8 bucks so far this morning, and we haven't even sat down a glass. It is just after 11. We watched this buck go into this patch of timber here. Haven't seen him come out, but we don't have eyes on him, and it's a fairly large patch of timber. So we don't know exactly where he is in there. So I'm gonna sit tight. I'm not gonna go over there and just bust this thing out of here. He's a pretty nice deer, so we're just hanging out. We're just gonna hang out and see what this deer does. So now we think there's actually multiple bucks over here in this timber patch, which is even more reason to not push ourselves over there right now because we don't know how many bucks are over there. We don't know exactly where they are in there. So we're sitting back. We're gonna watch this develop and see what happens. Maybe we get a play this evening. But if not, at least we'll know, because whatever's in there is gonna come out and feed this evening. And we'll truly get to see like what was actually in there. This morning was a little bit, it was, the basin was a little disturbed. We had some hikers coming here, bumping deer and stuff. This big buck in here was clearly running from these people over here. We kept looking back at these hikers. So hopefully tomorrow, if we don't get a play tonight, hopefully tomorrow we can see this basin act the way that it normally would and see where these deer are going to end up.
70% chance to rain on Sunday. I'm sure that's going to change though, it normally does.
Been sitting on this buck all day long, kind of wondering what he's going to do. He just came back out from his bed for the evening to feed. We think that there's another buck in there somewhere where he was bedded also, but we're just watching this deer right now and seeing what he does. If he puts himself in a spot where we can get to him this evening, maybe we'll make a run at him. The good thing is that we know that if he goes into this bed tomorrow, we know what he's going to do. So we have a really good game plan on how to set up on him if he repeats what he did today. Back to camp. Decided to leave that buck be this evening. If he stays right in that area, which it looks like that's what he's doing, he seems super on edge. He's alone. We confirmed that there wasn't another deer in there. Stays right in that area. I think we have a really good plan for tomorrow. At the least, I would just like to see him again tomorrow to try to come up with another game plan, but it seems like he's holding tight to that little spot that he's in. So we went and didn't see any other deer, filled up a ton of water, ate some dinner. Now we're gonna get a good night rest.
Morning of, I think it's day 3. Yeah, yesterday was day 2. Morning of day 3, new day, new opportunities. So, pretty pumped to get over there, see if we can find this buck. He's the best one we found so far, but we did see a lot of bucks yesterday. We saw 9 bucks, so I wouldn't be surprised if there were some other ones walking around too. But nonetheless, we're going to get some coffee going and hopefully find this sucker and put a move on him.
That's a good buck. He's actually got a crown on his left side at the top. It's pretty rad looking. We found 2 bucks. Both good bucks. Both of them look like they're old. One of them's got like a big body on him, big Roman nose. The other one is like big body, super white, pale face. One of them's hard-horned. He looks like he stripped last night. But both of them are really, really nice looking bucks. We've seen 14 bucks so far this morning. 2 of them on the way in, and there's 12 bucks in the basin right now. 2 down beneath us, and then 10 up high, working across the hill. So, good start to the day.
bucks have been bedded all day long. And came over, saw it was a fox, and then we saw that bucks boogie out of that area over to another patch of timber over to the left here. So we don't have eyes on them right now. We're gonna see if we can relocate them, but we might be going after this buck over here instead. Making a loop right now. Wind's good. It's pushing uphill, so as long as they don't hear us, we should be able to get into these things. We're like probably 100 yards from the buck right now. Or I should say the bucks, but the one that's bedded right here, about 100 yards from them. We've dropped our boots, dropped our packs, and gonna sneak up this. It's either gonna happen really fast or it's gonna take a few hours. We'll see. Hopefully we don't bust them out. The noise, the wind, blowing through this brush. We're real close. I don't think I want to go close. I think I missed that buck. Pretty sure I did. I should have aimed lower. He wasn't as far as I thought he was up against that tree. Clean miss.
And I just want to go to sleep. But we still found more bucks, so that's good. So recoup and be ready to rock tomorrow.
I couldn't get a good range on where the buck was, and he looked like he was in the shadows, which were further back, so I was ranging that, and it was 50 yards. When he stood up, though, like, I could tell that he was a little closer than that, but for some reason, you know, like, out of, like, maybe because I stood there for hour and a half, 2 hours, waiting for him to stand, you know, and my, like, adrenaline took over, came to full draw. I had 50 yards stuck in my head, and I didn't even take into consideration that he was a little closer. He was probably like 42 or something, I'm guessing, 43. And yeah, just airballed it. So today's a new day, though, and we've been seeing quite a few bucks. We saw 3 more bucks last night as we were eating dinner, and just gonna, you know, start over. That's all you can do.
So we're the new kids in town. Breaking walls, blowing bridges, leaving rubble like a wrecking ball. Go ahead, call us outlaws. Cause we tear the roof off. Yeah. Better get your umbrella, cause this wind's gonna kill ya. Better run for some shelter, cause we're blowing down this house. We are a hurricane. I'm blowing in and we're taking names.
Coming to the end here. Gosh, you plan these trips out, and it always seems like so much time, and then when you get out here, man, that time just flies by so fast. You come into a hunt and you're like, oh yeah, I got a week to hunt, and before you know it, it's day 6. And it's, I don't know. Yeah, time's crazy, man. But that must mean we had a good hunt, though. I've definitely had a great hunt here in Colorado. It's been light years different than Utah. I had a good time in Utah, but like, there have been so many bucks on this trip so far, getting plays every day. It's been really awesome. So hopefully we get one last play tomorrow, and hopefully that play ends with a buck at our feet. But if not, hey, it's been a heck of an adventure hunt out here in Colorado. Keeping in contact with the fam back home. I miss the heck out of my family right now. I always do on every hunt I go on. But doing stuff like this, man, I just love this stuff so much. Backcountry bow hunting, just backcountry hunting in general. Being out here, living in the dirt, that is what turns my crank. And I really hope that my daughter can look back on, her dad's life and see that I was out here doing things I was super passionate about, and hopefully she can apply that to her own life, and then I can sit back and enjoy that. We've got 15 deer total and 9 bucks from what I can see. So another morning in paradise here. Big group of bucks this morning. They wrapped around the backside of the mountain. So I'm not gonna go over there. I don't like doing stuff like that. Be a blind stalk. But we just saw there's a couple forky bucks actually right beneath us. We're gonna go get a closer look to see if there's any other bucks with them. But those deer look pretty tasty, so if I get excited, I might decide to bring home some back straps today. So, we'll see.
shot at that buck this morning, and I hit him high. Like, found my arrow. There's not even any blood on it. It's just wax and hair. So. Just got camp all broken down. Super bummer about that buck this morning. But got what I wanted. You know, I knew this was like our last kind of day to get to hunt here. And got one more opportunity, you know. Just made a bad shot. Luckily, I know it wasn't lethal. Like the arrow, you know, it's got just hair and fat on it. The buck is fine. There's not an ounce of blood, so not worried about that. But I am definitely, not gonna lie, my confidence is kind of low right now, you know, so we've got a mess of weather coming. Figured instead of sitting here getting dumped on in the tent, I'm gonna go home and see my girls, lick my wounds, and get ready for the next adventure.
I feel the thunder as it pours in, leaving traces of emotion.
That was it. The nail in the coffin that sealed my fate on this hunt. My confidence was lower than low, and I was disappointed in myself. As much as it bothered me at the time, all one can do in these situations is move on. Looking back, and as crazy as this sounds, I'm glad I missed those 3 bucks. Those 3 misses are gonna make me a better bow hunter. The only way to get better at things is to identify your shortcomings and handle them. Mother Nature did more than a fine job of doing that for me here. What started as a hunt for a deer ended with a hunt for perspective. And in that regard, I filled my tags tenfold.